Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Not Church, where we encourage people to think. I want to make this statement to you. I want you to give a lot of thought to. God has already done it. God has already done it. So there is no need to sit back and wonder if God is going to do it, because we know that God has already done it. So one of the greatest deception in this world is to make one think that they're trying to achieve something, or that they need to get to a certain place or attain a certain thing that they already have. Because you could spend 10, 20, 30, 40 years spinning wheels and not moving anywhere. These things tend to take care of themselves in life. There's a scripture in one of the Pauline epistles that talks about, if God has freely given us God's Son, how would God not freely give us all things? So in other words, God has already done it. This is symbolic of the fact that God has done what you think God has not done. It's similar to when we get bumped or bruised or get a cut. It's interesting. The mind and the body is so intelligent. And our bodies don't need our help, in terms of our own thought processes to heal itself. Because the cut clots. After it clots, first it bleeds and then it clots. And then after it clots, it further continues the healing process, killing out the good bacteria, killing out the bad bacteria, keeping the good bacteria, causing a hardening to come onto that area that you cut or bruised. And slowly but surely, that cut heals itself. And the mind is very similar to that. In our devastating traumas that we've experienced in life over time, the mind is akin to the hands. My hands get like this because I work out quite a bit, and I notice that when I work out, my calluses get thicker because it's protecting the skin underneath. As it heals, and our experiences, traumatic experiences, are much like that. Much like that scab, much like those calluses, it heals itself in time. You know why? Not because God gonna do it. It's because God already did it. So I just want you to know that today, that God has already given you all things. You've been saying, I want to go back to school. God has given you that. Doesn't matter how old you are. God has given you that. You saying, I want to get fit. I want to live. I want to eat more healthy. God has given you that. You say that I want to make amends with that person that I hurt some years ago. Well, God's already giving you that. You know, when medical doctors or pharmacists or auto mechanics or masons operate in their trade or their profession, they don't just jump into the profession. They don't just jump into the medical. They just don't jump on a line, laying brick to a line. They don't just jump on an engine and start working on it. They have to be trained to get understanding. And so understanding is not given by some haphazard persons that know nothing about auto mechanics or know nothing about the medical field. So I'm thankful that God has opened doors for me not only to receive my master's degree in theology, but I'm thankful that God is empowering me to go even further, to achieve my doctorate in theology. You know why? Because I'm dedicated. I'm committed to understanding who God is, why God is, what God is, and how God is this important force that's been in my life all these years that has called me to help others who don't understand. So I want to thank you again. Please like, subscribe, comment, share this channel, subscribe, and remember, it's okay to think. Until we meet again.
Everybody won't be on top, yeah. Whether the roof or the mountaintop.